Welcome to the Florida Angling Channel. In today's show, we're going to fish the inshore waters of Manatee County to attempt the FWC's Inshoreslam +1. Now, in my opinion, you can't have an Inshoreslam without adding this fish. The FWC Inshoreslam is redfish, trout, and flounder. Now, in my opinion, you can't have an Inshoreslam without the snook. The snook is, to me, king of the inshore fish. So we added the snook. What is the FWC? The FWC is Florida's Fish and Wildlife Commission. They regulate both fresh and saltwater fish and also Florida's wildlife. They set forth all the rules and regulations in hunting and fishing. The first thing I needed to do was come up with a game plan. Sometimes you can find all four of these species in one spot, like in the fall, around deep docks, grass flats coming up to them. All four of these fish will be together, but this time of year they're all spread out, they're in transition. Now the first stop that I planned on was Key Royal. Now this is a deep grass flat that holds bait longer in the fall and usually the first place that bait shows up in the spring. So I planned on killing two birds with one stone there and getting my bait and bagging my first trout. And I was pretty confident that was going to be easy. Well, we ended up getting a nice live well full of pinfish, all different sizes. We got 3 scaled sardines, which I was a little disappointed on that. That was where I was going to get my trout and snook. But we did stop and buy some shrimp on the way, so we floated some nice shrimp under corks down at Key Royal for about an hour and a half. And really disappointed. I was confident I was going to get my first trout there and not even a bite. So we packed it up and we moved to the second location, which is where I was pretty sure I was going to get my redfish. I'd been there a couple days before, seen several schools roaming around. Nice little oyster bar. They were laying up there sunning around the oyster bar. Just a really good location, or it appeared to be a really good location to get a redfish. So we eased up in there and gave it about a half an hour. That too was bust. So now I'm getting really disappointed. I'm pretty confident I was going to bag this early on, and ends up my first two places I was confident I'm going to get my fish isn't panning out. I went ahead and moved to the next spot. This is some deep water docks up in a canal system. I'm pretty sure that I can get my snook and redfish here. Get out of there, snook. There's the snook. Oh, cut me. Oh, the big snook too. Cut my leader. Dang, that was a big snook. 20-pound leader wasn't big enough for him. Yeah, try it again. I was hoping to get him in. That was gonna be my snook. Oh, missed him. Oh, there he is. Oh, who is that? That's a little snook. Oh, he's off. Dang it. How'd he spit it? Well, I'm getting pretty frustrated by now. I had 2 holes that I was sure I was going to get my trout and redfish in, and those didn't happen. So I'm in my 3rd spot, and I can't get hooked up. I'm getting the hits now, but I can't get hooked up. The first snook I lost, it was on a pinfish, and then they quit hitting the pinfish. So now I've used 2 of the 3 shiners that I had. They're hitting the shiners. I've got 1 more shot at this. Oh, there we go. Not bad. And just barely hooked too. Just barely hooked. All right, there's the snook. He's in the boat. There's the snook. As I released that snook, I noticed on the other side of the dock we were approaching, there was a nice boil underneath there. Now it was more like a roll rather than a pop, so I'm thinking it might be the redfish. So I eased out around the dock and set up on the other side of the dock. That ought to be the spot right there. Oh, there we go. Get out of there. That may be my redfish. Feels like my redfish. Looks like my redfish. That would be my redfish. All right. Another one just barely hooked. Oh, come here. Sucker is so slippery. Can't even grab a hold of him. He is definitely slippery. There we go. Alright, there's my redfish. Ain't pretty? Beautiful red. Well, I got my snook and redfish, so I decided to move to the next spot. Next spot was a grass flat with a lot of little sand patches. I expected to get flounder, and this was another shot at my trout. Well, that spot didn't work out, so I had to go ahead and make another decision to make a long run over in the Tercea Bay. That place is loaded with trout and good chances of flounder over there. So about a 40-minute run to get over there, and when I got there, there was a high-level fog bank that rolled in that made it like an overcast condition. There we go. Flounder. I just kept thinking that was gonna take off, but them flounder don't fight nothing like a redfish. Kind of hard to get rid of it, get a hold of that flat little guy. Not only is he slick, I think much to grab. Nice little Gulf flounder. That feels a little better. I don't know, he ain't coming up though, maybe a catfish. Wow, that is a huge, huge flounder. I don't think I've ever caught one this big. Shore once down. What a flounder. Wow, that is a big one. That's almost getting up there to halibut. Get him unhooked. He was hooked like in the tongue. I have got to see how big he really is. He is strong. Let's see. 22 inches. He's trying to flip, so. What a flounder. That thing is a monster. Well, I got my flounder, and next thing I needed was my trout. Crazy thing is I thought that was going to be the first fish that I got. I figured it was going to be the easiest to catch, and turns out it was the hardest. Everywhere I looked, I couldn't find any trout. So went ahead and pulled up the anchor and figured I'd ease over to that little spoil island and see if maybe there was some trout laying on the grass around that flat. Also decided to take advantage of the overcast sky and work a little bit of topwater lures and see if maybe that could trigger a strike. Oh, there we go. There's my trout. All right. What a hit. He stumped that lure. Oh, yeah. Come here, baby. All right. This is the one that I thought was going to be the easiest, and turns out one of the tougher ones. I figured for sure I'd get the trout right off the bat, and then I got the snook first, and then the redfish. Just kind of crazy how that all works out. Let's see if we get some more. I love watching that top water when them fish come up and nail it. Blast. Taking advantage of this fog bank. A lot of times trout won't hit top water when the sun's up high. This fog bank has rolled in, so. It's just so awesome seeing them fish come up and hit that top water. It's really getting hard to see now. Fog has cut out so much of the sunlight I can't hardly see the patches of sand. And while I hit it over the grass, I like to throw it over top of the sand pockets, because a lot of times they'll lay in those sand pockets. Got one striking at it. He was popping and he just wouldn't take it. Oh, missed it. That was a nice bust. He's still there though. That fish hit it and knocked it forward. Try it again, maybe he'll go back. There's a whole bunch of mullet up ahead, and a lot of times trout and redfish are hanging in them schools, picking up whatever they stir up. See if we can ease up on them. Trout popped it. There he is. Oh, I lost him. He wanted it, but he didn't get a good hook. Oh man, he popped it and I got excited. Put it back out there again. There should be a whole bunch of them in this area. What do we got? Trout? Oh, a little trout. He hit that big old bait. Unreal. Looks like he had it for a bit too, so I'm gonna let him have the hook. Just to ensure his survival. He's gonna give it to him. Let him rust out here in a couple days. Well, I finally caught the trout, and I chased a bunch of others around the flat with that topwater lure, but I just couldn't seem to get hooked up. Switched over to a live bait, caught one more, and then went over to a DOA and caught them sporadically till dark. Main thing was I did get the Inshoreslam. Had to work hard at it, had to change the plan a few times, but it paid off and we caught the fish. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you catch the next episode of the Florida Angler Channel.